10 to 11 p.m. Focus on that girl, watch the show with your BM. Comedy but interviews real lit. The DC Pharma Show educate real shit. That DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show.
Hey, how's it going out there? Thanks for coming back to another episode of the DC Pharma Show. What's going on out there, everybody in the chat? Thanks for tuning in again. As y'all know, we got my new co-host here, Dean Poop on IG, and as always, Stoner Also Well is always around.
What's good, man? What up, yo?
So what's been going on, man, Stoner, with your weekend, man?
Nothing, man. I'm trying to get ready for this kickball game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
so
man.
all the teams are set up, everything's ready to go?
I mean, we have teams. We don't know all the details yet. But, as everything draws closer, everything gets funner and trash gets talked.
So what team you representing?
I don't know. I don't know. Nah. Let me stop playing. Start small, move big, man. Double SMB.
Okay, that's the same team you was with last time. Okay. Y'all gonna win it this time?
Hope so. Last time I won my trophy. I went home empty-handed and disappointed. So,
Either way, it's for a good cause. You
True
know what
shit.
I'm saying? Definitely help serve the community. For everybody that don't know, go ahead and tell them what you are talking about as far as
us in the cannabis community, we doing a kickball game for kicking autism's ass. We doing a bunch of sport events. We just did football. We got kickball coming up. We got basketball coming up. We got a whole lot of stuff coming up, man. So just try to pay attention, watch what we doing, man.
Definitely,
Might be at that basketball game, man.
Come on.
Yeah. Might catch me at that one too, for real.
Word,
For real.
I'm
I might try to have a team for that joint. Last time was Cannabis Sees the Blind, was the 7-on-7 football flag football.
Cannabis Sees the Homeless.
Sees the Homeless.
Yeah,
My
we
bad.
did
I
the
said Sees the Blind.
Sees the Blind. Let's do it. We raised money for portable homeless structures. You know what I'm saying? To keep the homeless out of the inclement weather, whether it be too hot, raining, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Try to do our little part to help them out too.
Definitely, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. When the community can get together and do something positive. And with that being said, segue over to
what's up with you though?
Well, what about it?
You and your electronics and all your things you got going on in the garden, man.
Man, hey, I don't know, man. I'm happy now, man, because I was like the last little heat wave we had. This is my first actual greenhouse me running. You know what I'm saying? So I done ran into some speed bumps that I wasn't expecting, of course, as with anything else. Word. So I was battling the heat wave that came up recently, right? Mm-hmm. And man, that shit, man, it was bad, man. I actually had about, at that point, I had just started to begin to fill my beds up. Mm-hmm. So my boy Big Worm, he had a hookup from the Michigan Cup, so he had some clones, man. He had some good clones. They still alive. A lot of them are still alive. I think we lost a lot of the. What strain was that? It wasn't the Blue Dream. It was the. What strain was that? Because he was not happy about. Anyways, we ended up keeping some Blue Dreams, some Moby Dick cuts.
Okay.
Some Hercule. We have a mystery clone in there. Man, I'm mad I can't remember the other two strains that was in there, but they was from the Michigan Cup. But either way, the story means the heat wave, man. I didn't have a shade cloth at the time, man, and that sun baked.
To go
almost baked them.
Top of the roof or something?
Yeah. So it was so hot in there, and it almost baked them out. Damn. But a few of them definitely made it. Some of them took a L. Okay. But finally, I got everything dialed in. I found out about shade cloths and all that. So that took care of a lot of the heat.
Does your new I just want to call it your new toy because I know how you like playing with it. The little app you got on your phone and the box, the automatic stuff.
You talking about Troll Masters?
Man, yeah. Does that help with the heat and everything?
Man, that helped tremendously.
Okay.
See, because right now, I could be guessing what the temperatures is. You know, I wouldn't have no idea. By me not being in the garden, anything could go wrong. I wouldn't know. And to the next time I go back and check. Now I could literally just go on this app. Man, I hate to sound like a commercial. But literally I just went on the app, man, and it tells me the temperatures in my room at the moment. And it's pretty decent, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is so tight, yo.
I could. Not only does it tell me the temperatures of my room, right? But if it's too hot, I can cut the AC on. If it's not cutting on for whatever reason,
From the app.
if it's too cold, I could cut my AC off for whatever reason. If it's not working on the automatic settings,
From the app.
from my phone, I can manually override anything that I need to.
That just sound like the new Comcast.
Man, but you know, and I wasn't about that, man. You know, at one time I wasn't about this, man. You know, but when I'm not around, man, I definitely want to know what's going on, man. And this helps you do it. And what he's talking about, if you go on IG, is at trollmasters.agro on IG, and check them out, man. Check their website out, Trollmasters. They're reasonably priced, for sure, beating out the competition, man. And they're running up there, man. I don't know what the competition gonna do. They either gonna have to bow down or get out the way, cause, like I said, the price level that they at, they letting you play with the big boys, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. You get to experience it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you get to give
definitely.
us a first-hand account instead of like us going to YouTube to watch it, or them giving us their review. Like, it's their product, so of course they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's the best out here or whatever.
And what's also good about it is, I could check on it every day, but it's also keeping track daily, weekly, monthly. So
So could you go back and check?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. And if something's out of whack, man, it'll let you know immediately, man. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I was dealing with the heat, and I ain't know, man. I kept trying to throw solutions at it, so I finally figured it out, man. But now I really got it dialed in. That's why I actually started. Now all my beds are filled up. I feel comfortable about them. Ain't nothing gonna die in there no more.
Okay.
I got a pet prayer mantis in there.
So what was the temperature? What was the highest? What was
It got in there.
Yeah.
121
Jesus.
You should have had nothing in there.
at 121. Yeah.
Damn.
Desert plants.
No joke. That sun is no joke.
Damn.
I mean, it's the best light to have for your plants, but you got to tame it down a little bit. So, but like I said, it's a learning experience, and I'm enjoying it, man. I'm used to growing, but just not in that way. And you know, like I said, it's a learning experience. I'm knowing about the sun rotation, the hottest point to get in the afternoon for my greenhouse and all that.
Okay.
As opposed to the morning or evening times. So, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a good result at the end of the day. So,
Cool.
it's definitely going a lot smoother than any of my other grows. So, you know, because when you don't have nothing to take notes or anything that's going on, you're just guessing at everything.
No, but it's dope. You get it automatically done for you. That's-
Yeah, definitely. But and like we were saying with your cause, man, people need to go check that out. Which is who's throwing this one? It's a Good Gas or DC Scrogger?
I would say go to both. Like,
Go to Good Gas,
Contact them, ask them about it. Come
go
play,
to
man.
DC Scrogger on IG.
Donate too.
Yes,
Donate.
Donate $1, yeah. It don't matter. Donate $1, $5, whatever it is. It's for the autism. Last time it was for the homeless.
Right.
Like I said, anytime the community gets behind a good cause, whatever it may be, so long as it's good, I'm for it, man. You know, I'm gonna put it on my show. I'm gonna let it be known. Y'all go check them peoples out. Follow them on IG. Like I said, donate. They're actually doing what they say they're gonna do with their money. They're helping people, man. It's not no bogus shit. So y'all go check them out, man. And when the basketball team come out, I'm gonna try to have my own team, man, and do some things.
Team DC Farm. I'm looking forward to that.
Go look for KD. LeBron be bouncing around too much, so I don't know.
I can't trust him.
But what else? I was gonna talk about something else, man. I forgot what it was. Hold up. Listen Vision Live, y'all. Y'all check out Listen Vision Live. I almost forgot my little plugs, man. Tasty Tuesdays, right? It's a Tasty Tuesday.
Tasty Tuesdays.
Y'all go check out my girl, Princess P representing Cannabis DC. She has a cooking show at 5 p.m. Infused and Confused. That's the name of her show. And that's what I wanted to say. Elevated Academies. They got me in this weekend. I'm gonna be teaching a class for the vegetative growth cycle. So I'll be doing an hour class this Saturday at Elevated Academy. So if you're around, check them out. Come through, say hi. May have some flowers, may not. I don't know. But we are gonna be talking about the plant. So y'all come check that out. But with that being said, today it's all about cannabis and business. So I hope I got some vendors watching my show tonight out there in chat maybe, or on YouTube, or on WLVS Live right now, Listen Vision Live. If you're paying attention, man, we have a good guest with us today. Her name is Sarah, and she's representing Canny Ventures on IG. So make sure y'all give her a follow and check her out. And with no further notice or ado, please welcome her to the stage. What's going on out there in chat too, man, if I ain't said it already? Underground Organics, them plants are looking very good.
Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma Show the masses how to grow grass. No till the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up, eyes up, fight for your right to light or eyes shut. Loud from the motherland, I'm getting high in stadium. Super gas, no clone, they grown with vibranium. Trico chasers, council of the grow.
What's going on out there? Hey, I also wanted to shout out Underground Organics. Them clones are doing great. They're beasting in the bed. I'm gonna have to trim those jokers down real soon, man, or do something. They are really looking good. Thanks again. Thanks for the gift. I definitely appreciate it. And please introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon Gibson. I'm the founder of Canny Ventures. Canny Ventures was formed back in 2016 to provide business development resources to aspiring entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry. So I provide one-on-one consulting, coaching, and business workshops. We have a monthly business workshop called Business Buds. And you can come out, network with other cannabis entrepreneurs, and we just talk about how to operate a business in the cannabis industry.
That's cool, man.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here and drop some nuggets and, let's talk about business.
Yeah, because I definitely think it's needed, man. And how do you feel about the cannabis community in DC at the moment?
So as a whole, I'm very impressed with the way how people resource share here in DC. I live in Virginia, but I work primarily in DC. So I like the resource sharing. I like how people support each other, and I like how everyone is just so eager to get a regulated market here in DC,
right.
And is just so eager to show off their products and their services. So I think it's really inspiring, especially since we're in such a gray area. But
Yeah, and that's a big deal now. I mean, I used to always praise the gray area. I always used to praise the gray area, but now it seems like it's getting to a point where it's getting really muddy. And I think we need to come out of that gray area now and actually start, like you said, turning these young entrepreneurs into actually businessmen, man. So, like how some of the ways that we could go about doing that in the environment that we're in at the moment.
Okay, so what I would say is, all right, so as like the basis of forming a small business, a lot of people say access to capital or funding is really important. I really think access to information is more important than access to funding. And I'm saying that because a lot of people have technical skills, but they just don't know how to open a business or navigate a business. So what I would advise people to do here, if you are operating in the gray area or in the underground market, if you're not sure if you're all the way legal, the DC government actually has free classes and resources for entrepreneurs. And the DC government supports any legal business structure, all right? So it's not like you're going to be turned away because you're in cannabis. You're still a small business owner, and as long as you're registered in DC and you pay taxes, you are open to get those type of services from the government. So they have free like business planning workshops. They have free one-on-one counseling sessions so you can get your business license. They have opportunities where you can sit one-on-one with people from the Tax and Revenues Office, ABRA office, and also the Department of Health. So you can talk about your permits and like getting through the application process with that. So again, if you're operating underground, you have to look into getting your business incorporated. And that's how you form a legal business structure.
Right.
I never knew
Definitely.
anything about that.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
it's just
didn't
access
know.
to information.
Exactly, yeah. And you can actually go up in the buildings and straight up. That's good information, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there are multiple agencies here in DC that cater to entrepreneurs and also nonprofits. And I know it's cannabis, it's a little new for people. There's certain stereotypes and stigmas, but we are viable business owners. You know, I pay taxes to
Right.
DC, I pay taxes to Virginia, that's where I live. And so I'm entitled to get these services. So if you don't know, just go ask, Google. If you're operating underground and you haven't even read the laws as they're written by DC Council, that's probably the first thing you need to do. You don't have to be a lawyer to read the laws and educate yourself.
Right. That's true.
So just get as much information as you can.
And these some good services to actually take
Yeah.
advantage of,
I thought
man.
when it came to stuff like that, you need petitions and they got to get signed off and go through so many. Man.
Yeah, I mean, to start a business, you could just go online and get a business license. It's very easy, and they'll coach you through the process for free. So, yeah, if you're out here with no business license, yeah, you're definitely illegal, and you need to go get that straight.
Right. So, I mean, how did you get into? I see you have a thing for business, but how did you get into the cannabis culture of it?
Because I'm
Aspect
a
of it.
recreational user.
Okay.
I started using or consuming back in college. I went to Hampton University, and all right. So I went to Hampton, and I noticed that every time I smoked, like I was able to write papers much faster.
Right.
I was just able to focus and go to class, and a lot of my friends just thought I was like a total stoner. But I was on the cheerleading team, I was on the student recruitment team, I was in other organizations, and I traveled when I was in school. So consuming cannabis basically saved my life. And that's when I started to realize the real medical benefits of it. But I'm a recreational user, and I like to smoke. Okay.
I call that zoning out, man. That's what I call it. Like, anytime I'm about to do something, I'm gonna hit a J, and it helps me, like you said, focus. I just zone out on it. That's exactly what I'm doing, man. I don't want to be interrupted or bothered or just any little thing just throw me off track.
Yeah.
It kind of helps me, like, actually, just like I said, zone out, especially if the flower was good.
Yeah, and I hate when people try to stereotype or put us in a box that we can't be productive business owners because we consume while we do business. Or, you know, we might want to smoke a blunt to break bread and get to know each other. I don't like that stereotype.
But see, that brings me to the next question, or even segue to what I want to talk about. It's like, even though it's legal in here in D.C., there's still a stigma behind it.
Yeah.
Like, right now, people are still being treated as criminals.
Absolutely.
You know, okay, so, like, for example, right, cannabis is technically legal in the District of Columbia.
Right.
But you can't smoke it outside. You can't smoke it at get-togethers. You can't smoke it at a barbecue. You got to smoke this behind closed doors in your bedroom, man. Like, literally hiding somewhere smoking it, man.
Corner. You gotta take
You
that
know,
walk.
so, you know, we still got some fight left to do, man. You know what I'm saying? That stigma that's behind it, like, if it's legal, then it's legal. Let's
Right.
not say,
Halfway. there.
right, that's
What
legal,
is halfway
but
legal, like?
it's legal, but you could do this, like this, but come on, like,
But
really?
is society ready for that? You know,
I mean,
know,
I would say
think
this.
Us, we are.
I
but
would
like,
even-
our moms, our dads, our grandmas. Like, are
Why?
they ready
But I
for
would
that?
say, why wouldn't we be ready for it if society's been dealing with this for like
That's true.
years, and this is like 5-10 times worse than cannabis, man. I could drink 2 or 3 of these damn cans of bottle and drive down the street and probably kill somebody.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I can't control the vehicle or whatever. I'm incapacitated. I could smoke 3 motherfucking J's.
And be focused behind
And
the wheel.
you know what I'm saying? Be cruising, doing the speed limit, chilling, listening to some good music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, so is society ready? If you ask me, I say, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's it waiting for? If anything, I see the crime rate go down from it.
Absolutely. I mean, crime rates have been going down. Opioid usage has been going down. So there's obviously tons of benefits to cannabis.
Yeah, man. Like,
They are trying to like stop us from being great.
yeah, I mean, is it legal or is it not? It's to that point now. You know,
Yeah.
like,
It's and you know, if people follow, you know, like cannabis policy from a federal perspective, you can see that between 2017 and 2018, Congress, which comprises of both the House and the Senate, they have introduced the most amount of bills, pro-cannabis, pro-marijuana bills than they've ever had in the whole history of their existence. So just this past year alone, and seeing the different regulators, senators, and Congress people coming out and supporting marijuana, I think people who are in business, they need to start preparing for when that it flips.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be
and
prepared.
back to business, right? Because what you just said, it's all happening because they see. They see the gold mine. They see the money behind all this. All these Congress people that's now getting behind the cannabis industry, they see the dollar bills. But they don't care how good this is for your health or what it could treat or what it could do for people. They just see them dollar signs. So now that we seeing these chess moves being made, you know what's coming down the line.
Absolutely.
So I would suggest, like, what would you suggest people that are, like, even in the cannabis industry doing shirts, or even like my man One Deuce with his ratchet lunch boxes and rolling trays, like, what would you suggest for these type of businesses to actually take it to the next level?
Participate in a legal market, meaning that you might have to travel to other states such as Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Florida, Michigan, Ohio. Travel to states that have open and legal marijuana markets where you can apply for a license and be a supplier or be a retailer or actively participate in the industry. DC, we don't have an open market right now. You know, we have a limited number of we have a limited number of dispensaries and cultivators. So that puts a cap on what we can really do legally here. We can apply whenever the licenses are open, or you can be an ancillary business. But if you really want to touch the flower, you might have to travel to another state to do so.
Right.
And it's not as hard as you think. Just get in your car, drive to New Jersey, drive to Pennsylvania, get on LinkedIn, start networking with professionals in those areas. They have trade associations, networking groups, so you can start to form a team with people in other states. You just have to be willing to travel outside of DC right now. But for people that want to stay here and be here, get your business incorporated and set up a legal business structure. That means stop selling $100 stickers. You have to offer products and services that are of equal value to what you're giving away. And you can't just put the flower up front and say, this is my business, because it's not legal, because you don't have a license to do that. So,
and
you gotta be creative.
Now, let's, like what you just said, let's touch back on the sticker, like the sticker point. Now, just because we say take the price tag off the $100 sticker doesn't mean don't do what you try to do, but actually create something, in other words, right?
Yep.
So, like, even if it's an ashtray or whatever, in other words, get creative and turn it into a product.
Absolutely. Turn it into a product, turn it into a viable service. Even with Can I Ventures, when I first started, I was offering $25 workshops, but with your registration, you would get a free treat. You know, so that worked out well because people are still coming to the workshops. They're still getting a service from me, but they just happen to get an incentive to buy.
But real deal, like, okay. Everybody remembers, I don't know if you was here or not for it, but a lot of people in D.C. remembers the National Cannabis Fest, right?
Yeah.
Now, anybody in the cannabis community, the cannabis culture out here in D.C. knows that who's the big dog out here? King Weedy, right? okay, did we not see his tent? Can we not learn from what this dude is actually doing? And can we say anything he did was illegal? No, it wasn't. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. And it touches
I'm not
to what
familiar, so tell
no,
me.
because it touches to what you just said. You did not see this man at his vending booth with his cannabis up front. Never did he say, I'm selling cannabis, I'm handing out cannabis, or I'm giving cannabis if you buy this. Never.
Nope.
By this point, y'all, it should be fucking
Should be pretty obvious.
like, yeah, it should be pretty obvious. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this dude has bongs, pipes,
All his glass, right?
all his glass work, man.
And people should start to see the trend now with people there's more like smoke shops opening in DC, more glass shops. I mean, they're probably giving you glass plus something else.
Right.
You know, but that's not the basis of the
This
model.
right, but what I always go back to the point is the law is that we could give it away.
Give it away.
You could give it away. Who could tell? If you buy this can of beer from me because I made this beer, no one could say I can't be appreciative and say, here, take this weed because you bought something. No one can tell me I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You gave me some beer, let me give you some weed. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Even trade, right?
Not even a trade, but you bought this
one
from
after
me.
the other?
I appreciate it. Here you go.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know, like really, like the point I'm trying to make is stickers, y'all. Really,
Yeah.
like, come on, can we not get more creative at our
We're seeing
tables?
through that business model. We see through it.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, like you're making it too easy for these guys to come fuck with you.
Yeah.
If you get yourself, like you said, incorporated and become an actual business, then you actually become more of a personal battle in court.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're not just a street dude no more.
Right. And that's what we don't want people to be, the street dudes. We want the street dudes to move into having legitimate businesses.
Exactly.
So we don't want that. So I think as much as I appreciate the pop-up scene here in DC and I love it and I think it's great for tourists to just come experience it, I think we should start to really think about how do we incorporate, how do we create viable business models so we can still operate within the confines of the law and pay taxes as business owners. Because once you're a business owner paying taxes in DC, the council members will listen to you, trade associations will listen to you because they need that income.
Exactly.
And they appreciate small businesses here in DC.
Exactly.
So that's what we need to really be talking about.
So it's like, it's not the hustle. I love the hustle. Right. I love like the tables. Everybody got the presentation looks pretty. It's the creativeness of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking the hustle. The hustle's always gonna be the hustle. But let's get real with it and let's turn this hustle into the legal hustle.
Yeah. So instead of saying like pop up vendors, you know, why don't you just say it's a business fair?
It's a business fair. There you go, a business fair, man.
It's a trade show.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
So let's
and then when you actually start generating legal money, like you said, getting taxed, and you can start supporting some of these representatives that's run for office in D.C. Because I know a lot of people still ain't happy who got voted in, and these representative and all these people that got, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? They got other people that's donating and putting money behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, there was actually an article in Forbes magazine that talked about in other established states like Colorado and California that marijuana PACs are starting to be a real influence on political races. So, yeah, that's something that we definitely want here in D.C. We want a voice that would represent the cannabis community.
They're not going to know what to do when everybody get legal.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, it's...
But the sad, and you know, and the sad part about it is I like a lot of the pop-ups. I like a lot of their logos, their creativeness, and even their products. But if you don't step up, and when it does get legal, like you just said, you're gonna get blown out the water. I'm not gonna see you no more. You know what I'm saying? You're not even gonna be an option anymore.
Right, and it's a proven fact that once recreational markets come online in a legal sense, mom and pops or like local brands, they get washed out immediately by these more established brands that are coming into the market. Right. So now that, you know, we're in a gray area, continue to build your local brand, continue to build your audience, and partner with people in other states.
Exactly.
So they can get to know you better.
and then instead of getting blown out, you get bought out instead.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
And you want to get bought out.
Right, because when you're legal,
strategy.
that's when they start talking a few mils to buy you to get you out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Acquisitions. All
I mean, so what are some of the, I don't know, what would you think some of the hurdles would be for some of us to actually trying to get legal? Like, what are some of the things that a lot of people get discouraged about?
I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. With the information, it's like paperwork. And just navigating, how to get incorporated, how to set up your business taxes, just basically how to set up the infrastructure of your business. Because like I said, people with technical skills, they can make great edibles or great trimmers, whatever. But, if you don't really know how to navigate through that government red tape, that's really a big barrier for people. So again, just being connected to individuals like myself, or just going out to different networking events so you can meet people that would make that process easier for you, and read the laws. Like I said, you don't have to be a lawyer, but just Google that shit. Look at go to Google federal regulations for marijuana. Read what the Cole memo is. If you don't know what the Cole memo is, definitely do some research. Know common terminology about the industry, and know the various sectors that you can play in. You don't have to touch the plant to be a cannabis entrepreneur. I consider myself a cannabis entrepreneur, but I don't grow. I don't know how to grow. I don't know anything, about the plant like that. But I know about business.
But see, and I would say I'm like on the opposite spectrum of that. Like, I could grow like shit, but that's what I'm on. I like to grow. I like,
Yeah, so
just that feeling of
We're gonna kick that door down.
Yeah.
Need that license.
And see, like, when I do an event, like, my mind, like, I hope everything gets straightened out by the time I harvest or whatever, because my event will be like a farmer's market type of deal, because along with cannabis also comes food, organic food and all that alongside with that. So I would like to do like a farmer's market, man, like that kind of a deal, man.
Yeah, I'm into that too.
Yeah,
Farmers
man.
market, or home and health market, or home and health store. To talk about growing healthy foods, living a healthy lifestyle, and having access to healthy products. I think that's cool.
But I would like to see these pop-ups come back. I would really like to see them come back in the forefront in a legal way. Like we was talking about, man. Like, let's get more creative. Like, the only reason they kicking down you guys' doors and whatever, man, you're being too obvious.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it. You being too obvious,
I think
man.
not only that, but just from me speaking as a consumer, when you go to some of these pop-up events, it's just people standing around with their tables. Like, I want to sit down, I want to consume, I want to talk, I want to socialize, I want to eat.
Listen to some music.
So let's take a page out of like California's book, and they do very specialized cannabis experience events. Think about the experience of the consumers that are coming in.
That is true, man. That is definitely true, man.
I like going to the pop-ups because I like to see what people have, even though it's not legal. It's a part of our culture.
Right, it is.
It's a part of the DC culture. So, yes, I frequent pop-ups, but I would love to go to one that I'm just not walking around to the table like, okay. I want to experience.
And then
give it to me.
And we have so many local artists, whether it be hip-hop, R&B, poetry, artwork. Like, we could incorporate all that into these events, man. Like you said, it doesn't have to be boring and straight up, obvious, man. It doesn't have to be straight up, obviously boring. Let's just put it that way.
And then it makes people scared to come out because then the events are getting popped, or they're just boring.
So you don't feel safe anymore.
Remember, we're in Washington, D.C. This is the nation's capital. So not only the people that live here are consumers, but the many millions that come and look at the Washington
It's a tourist town,
It's
man.
a tourist
Yes.
town. Don't forget that. We live in a tourist town. And I think people forget to just give us a good experience. People drive all the way from Virginia and Maryland to come to DC to experience cannabis. So why not give them a good experience?
And to be honest, man, we do have some event holders, people that actually do events that do like poetry and little songs. Not little songs, but poetry and local artist events and stuff like that. And those shows, man, to this point, I still think they go on without a hitch. Like, there's no problem going on there. So and they still doing what they're having fun. They're
Yes.
enjoying themselves in an environment that they want to be in. And cannabis is there.
Right.
It's just not in the forefront. You know, like especially with slam poetry, and some of these events that goes on with the artwork. It's not like we were saying, it's not boring, but I guess a lot of people probably don't know about it so much because like I said, it's not. This isn't what is in the forefront about it. They're actually promoting
Yeah, like poetry.
the poetry and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Puff and paint, it's like that's cool.
But
you know,
again,
stuff like that.
again and again and again, I always go to the point: do we have to be so obvious that we have to announce it? Like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Look what we're talking about: slam poetry, local artists, hip hop. Like, it's gonna be there, man.
Like, you will find it. So
It's been there before this shit. It's gonna be there now.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point I'm trying to make. Like, we could make I could go on so much about this, but like this, for example, right? This logo right here, this branding, it's so creative, man. This shit is dope as shit. One Deuce, One Deuce on IG, Southeast Ratchet Cakes.
Southeast Ratchet Cakes.
Man, but this dude got the lunchbox. He got the ratchet cakes. He got the rolling trays. You know, like, but I love the logos. I love his marketing skills. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see him gone when the feds actually decide to pull that switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, now what can we do for these brothers, especially in our communities, for them to be in the forefront still? See, like this dude right here he's been in part of this community since the beginning, man.
Yep.
So like, it'd be sad to see people like this disappear when everything actually becomes
So I
good.
think the answer to that, so I talked about access to information, and we can think about that as a step one. But for businesses that already have like strong marketing, has a following, now you have to think about that access to capital, that access to funding. How do you create a sustainable business? Whether it's doing a GoFundMe page, or doing pitch competitions or pitching to investors,
Right.
pitching to your peers. Hey man, give me $500 for this marketing. You know, so that's when you really have to start thinking about sustainability financially. So, you know, Southeast Ratchet Cakes, they have their budget together so they can survive for another year. Or they've partnered with another bigger team that can provide them resources so they can continue to sell their lunch boxes. So, yeah, that's when you really want to start talking about fundraising opportunities. And speaking of that, on Tuesday, July 24th at Business Buds, we will be talking about fundraising strategies for cannabis businesses because it's very important. You know, you can't go to a bank and get a loan in this industry. So
No, you can't. You can't even put your money in the bank.
You can't even. No, you can't. You absolutely cannot. But there are some states, credit unions, they're offering checking and savings accounts.
Okay.
And there are 2 banks in Maryland now that offer checking and savings accounts for cannabis businesses. Wow. But like I said, it's going to flip within the next 2 years or so.
Yeah,
I think.
I believe so.
Legit for real.
Huh?
Murder not really legit, are they?
Medical.
Yeah, they have a legal medical market.
Medical.
So I think those services are really offered for like the dispensary owners.
And now, even CBD now CBD is almost legal
CBD is
everywhere,
legal
man.
Everywhere. People have drop shipping stores for CBD. You know, obviously there's retail stores opening up here in DC with CBD, and I think that's an avenue that people should really look into. Especially if you're like a health or fitness or wellness expert, I think you should start incorporating CBD into your regimen or project offerings. And then also seniors. Don't forget about our moms and our dads like to, you know, partake too.
Yep.
I just found out the other day, my parents are from Guyana. And my dad just told me the other day that he used to grow cannabis when he was a child.
Oh, yeah?
For his
You don't know
parents.
how
I
it
didn't
is.
know.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know. See?
She don't know.
And,
He
but
probably
these,
was growing
this
at
goes to
5,
the
too.
conversations that people may or may not be having in their families.
We sit here talking about
use.
cannabis. Your father like, you don't know nothing
Yeah,
about that,
he was
girl.
Like, did you know that? I was like, no.
Got the real kush in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the real shit.
Right. So, and he used to grow it to give it to his grandparents to put in their tea, so they didn't
Yeah.
necessarily like smoke
Right,
it,
right.
but those are
I like
conversations
the
you gotta have.
last guest was up here, was into that. Had CBD oils.
Right.
Actually, he was in Maryland too. Come to think about it. Yeah.
Or like even people in DC, you could look into Maryland whenever they open up their licensing process again. Try to apply and get in there.
I just definitely, like I said, I seen a lot of the pop-up scene now kind of disappeared. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I would say some of them need to come back.
Yeah.
I just think we just need to get a little more creative. Some of these brands are noticeable already, or known. But like we said, this is a tourist town. A lot of people, even now, man, a lot of people flock to DC just for cannabis now.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so if we can't have an environment for these people to actually come enjoy themselves, man, then what's the whole point? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely,
And then we all lose.
yeah, and I think we also need to keep pushing, man. Like, even though like I said, it's legal out here, but we need to keep pushing it for these restrictions to get a little
Yeah.
looser, man. You know.
Yeah.
Push through.
Yeah, definitely.
push
Like,
through.
after a while, man, you ain't even gonna be able to smoke in your own house for real,
Right.
man. If we don't do nothing
Pushing
about it.
We're not gonna do shit.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, isn't there something called DC Dispense 2020 or some political?
DC Dispense 2020, that's right.
Yeah.
What's that
What
about?
is that?
It's just like a meeting of like community people trying to work towards new regulation that helps it make it a green market instead of a gray market.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're pushing for marijuana retail.
That's definitely coming. That's
I think
definitely
that's coming, and you see it in people opening up storefronts.
Yep. It's coming. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you guys that was doing these pop-ups that actually had a name, don't run away now. Don't let them run you out of town now, man. Because it's coming, man. The
Yeah.
legalization is coming for sure.
For sure.
We don't know when, but it's coming.
It's coming. And in business, you always want to stay ahead of the curve. So before the opportunity is even ready, you have to be ready.
Yep.
So if someone checks a box and they flip a switch and they're like, yes, recreational marijuana in DC is legal. I mean, you might want to have a storefront. You might want to be set up already.
Set up, indeed. Set up already, man.
Set up.
And like I said, a lot of these people get creative. So I hopefully the future we see a lot of more things, man. I can't wait till we actually start having like cannabis cups or events out here to that magnitude. When the money really start coming in.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we just need to take in my opinion, because you're the business guy that's here. You know all this business. But in my opinion, I think we need to take a page from some of these guys that are doing it the right way and see what they're doing that's working for them and kind of make it work for you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're running. I didn't know we was talking this damn much.
It
This
was
is a good conversation.
Yeah.
But before we run out of time, because I know you have a lot of things going on, why don't you tell us about some of the events that you do got coming up, and the one that you got every month, I suppose, because that's something good that if you miss 1 month, catch the next month, because it's important to network with alike people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get something done and you actually meet somebody that can help you get there, these are the kind of events, I suppose, that you meet them at, right?
Absolutely. So again, Can I Ventures, at me on Instagram. And like I said, we provide one-on-one consulting. We provide workshops. Business Buds is a cannabis business education workshop that's every month. This month, it will be on Tuesday, July 24th. And we're going to be talking about fundraising strategies for cannabis businesses. In addition to that, on September 22nd, I will be hosting something called the Cannabis Clinic. And that's a 4-hour course where people can come in and start to work on their business plans with a cannabis focus. And the first part of the class is going to be a cannabis 101, where we're going to be talking about the market opportunities, the size and investment opportunities, and get people familiar with the common terms and jargon of the industry so you can make some good deals. And then from there, we'll be doing some pitch competitions and just helping people fundraise. So yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram. I post everything on there. I encourage people to also join my newsletter. I send out links to the different applications, just different types of news and legislation and policy changes. I've been doing small business education for the past 7 years. And before becoming a full-time entrepreneur, I worked within DC government doing training and education programs for entrepreneurs. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. And again, just access to information and networking is the fastest ways that you can grow your business here in DC.
Now, I have one last question for you. The fundraising, because I heard you say about fundraising. Now, how is that actually working out for people, man? The fundraising part of it.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the business side of it. But as far as people that are in the cannabis industry, it really works out in going to like private investors or just investment groups for cannabis companies. So one that comes to mind is called Archview. They're based in Colorado, but they'll accept businesses from all over the country.
Right.
So get a pitch deck together. If you don't know what a pitch deck is, hit me up. I'll tell you. But basically, just prepare yourself to always be prepared to pitch your business to potential investors, no matter how much money they have, even if it's $200. You want it, Yeah. So it works out when you have your stuff in order and you know the mission, vision, and the benefits of your company and why people should buy your product or service.
Yeah, I cold-hearted, and for people out there that have something that you think is like next best thing, and you don't have enough fun, and you think you can't get it started. This is who you need to see. These are the events you need to go to.
Yeah, business cards.
So definitely go check her out. Follow her on IG and go to the next event, y'all.
Yes.
We definitely need more business people from the city out here to actually make some moves, man.
Absolutely. So I love being here with you guys.
No, thanks for coming, for sure.
me. Cool.
All right, that's it, Jay.